Cristiano Ronaldo is the most professional player I ever played with. He was the one, if we are training at 10, he will be here at 8. He was the last to leave the training ground. He's a machine. He doesn't want to lose anything. I tell the story about the tennis table and Rio Ferdinand, you know. They play like a tennis table and Rio Ferdinand beat Cristiano. Everyone was laughing. So 2 weeks later, Cristiano bought a tennis table. He practiced and he said, I will do my revenge. And we said, like, come on, Cristiano, don't embarrass yourself. You lost last time. And he played and he beat Rio.
Ronaldo was the biggest example of someone that, from the outside, you think, God-given talent, doesn't need to work hard, just turns up on a football pitch, looks $1 million, and just goes out there. Well, there was one day I mapped out a day in the life of Ronaldo, and in the day of Ronaldo, there was only an hour in the day where he was coached. The rest of it was him self-driven, getting to training early, doing his weights, doing his abdominals, doing his massage, going home, employing a chef to look after his nutrition, going to bed for 3 hours in an afternoon. When you see him doing the step-overs, after every training session finished, extra training, then he would take a ball around the whole circumference of Carrington training ground, doing his step-overs, jogging pace, walking pace, drag backs, step backs, Cruyffs. And that was like 3K round of training ground. Day before the game he would do it. And people say, oh, God-given talent. No, the most mentally tough player I've ever played with.
The discipline of Cristiano is unbelievable. I never see this every day. You know, some days you can like, oh, I'm okay, yeah. He doesn't miss one day. He's disciplined. No, it's like he's a professional. We're all professional. But the discipline to do it every single day, non-stop, this is something else. It's never satisfies with what he's done. He's always want more because he always say, I can do more. I will do more. His motivation is crazy. It's like every day is a new record, is a new challenge for him every single day. I'm telling you, he's programmed. The sleep, the rest, the recovery, the pool, massage. I never see this.
I don't know a stronger, more determined, obsessed player that I'd share the changing room with because he was just phenomenal. I was very fortunate to sit there and watch him go from a boy to a man, even from just training, affecting training sessions, like being the match winner in training, like absolutely obsessed with winning a game in training and being the one that scores the last goal. He came as a kid, left as the best player in the world.
I remember when I came to the club, how he looked as a boy. He was skinny. He was someone who's always trying to do the skills and tricks, and how he developed over the years, how he trained, willing to sacrifice everything to achieve his dreams. I think that's an example for the young generations. I think what you see Cristiano on Instagram, all flashy stuff, I think he earned it, he deserved it to have all those, but in his age, when he was 18, 19, 20, 21, to have that mentality, to work hard, to don't go out, to fight for your dream, and the way he did it, I think he deserved everything he got.
You just got to take your hat off to him, because despite him being naturally, of course, he's brilliant, but he has managed to work his way through sheer guts, sheer drive, dedication, still to this day, you know, gets in before everyone else, leaves after them, his diet, everything about him is professional. I remember going over to Madrid to present him with the Ballon d'Or on the pitch. I got given a tour of the new dress training ground, and it was about 7 o'clock at night. I was walking around. There was one person and one physio in the dressing room at the time as I was getting the tour around, and he was getting a massage and doing all the stretches and doing all his routine at about 7 o'clock at night.
I remember one of the conversations with him in the gym. Yeah, now I really want to become the best player in the world. So yeah, so Ronnie said, a lot of people say that. No, I really want it. That's like, okay, what are you going to do about it? Yeah, everything. One of the funny stories I find always, I told a lot of people already after training, Edwin want to take some free kicks. Said Ronnie, it's like, take the second or third goalkeeper. I'm 37. Come on, let's take one of the other guys. I'm tired. No. Come on, I want to score against the best. Yeah, but Ronnie, you're not going to score, so what's not the point? No, come on, you're getting goal. And of course, then he had the free kick and the position and the stance and the ball that floated. But he always wanted to end it with a goal. So it's not even whatever that I save one, okay, it's finished. But he always end up with a goal. I said, but Ronnie, I want to also have a good feeling of going into the game. It's not only about you. And of course, it's always been about him.
I think a lot of it is not natural ability for Ronaldo. As brilliant as he is, I think it's just sheer hard work. Yeah. Determination, desire, today for the goal, courage. He's got a lot of courage, wants to get in there, he's brave. I've said it before, the guy's a genius.
You once went for lunch with him at Manchester United. I think you were going to have a gentle lunch, and it turned out to be a very competitive afternoon.
No, exactly. I think we should stay at the training ground. He said, let's go and having a lunch after training. Go to his house. It was few people on the table. I look at it. It was just some salad, plain white chicken, no juice, just water. So we have a food, quickly a lunch. And after that, he said, let's go in the garden and play two-touch. I said, Cristiano, we just finished. So we go playing two-touch. After that, let's go for a swim. After that, let's have a sauna, jacuzzi. I was like, Cristiano, why we didn't stay at the training ground? So that's why I say Cristiano deserves everything he got right now.
Everyone wants to be Cristiano, but I give you the map. You think you will do that? It's difficult. It's
the discipline.
The discipline is the most difficult thing, not only in the sport, but in life.
Do you ever wake up and you're saying, I don't want to do it today?
I fight against my mind. Yes, sometimes it's happened. We are all human beings. We are not happy every day. We are not in a good mood every day. It's normal. It's part of us. I fight against that. It's the big challenge. It's when you're not willing to do something, but you have to do it. This is the main point. This is why I say our mind, it's a box of surprises, and you have to challenge yourself to be consistent. I repeat, sometimes it's hard. It's what many people say, you like to go to the gym every day. Of course, no. It's not true. Nobody likes to go to the gym every day. But you have to do it because your mental strength is coming from that moments that in a hard moments, you should do it. After that, maybe in the beginning you feel hard to start, but after when you finish the gym or even the training, you will feel better.
Takes me to someone at my football club who, when I was at Manchester United, and you think, who was that person who had a massive impact on the club while they were there? And you can't look no further than Cristiano. And you talk about mindset. I don't know a stronger, more determined, obsessed player that I'd share the changing room with, because he was just phenomenal. And again, like the guys just said about Gareth, I was very fortunate to sit there and watch him go from a boy to a man.
Been a great debate over the last few years with him and Messi, but I think over the last 6 months, I think he's gone on to another level. I think he's out there on his own. The way he started the World Cup, the way he finished last season, how many times can we say it about him? His improvement, his attitude. And I think a lot of it is not natural ability for Ronaldo. As brilliant as he is, I think it's just sheer hard work, determination, desire. Today for the goal, courage. He's got a lot of courage, wants to get in there, he's brave. I've said it before, the guy's a genius.
But the fact is that he has shown that it's not just ability, it is hard work. And he seems to be getting the fruits of all the hard work that he's put in down the years. Patrice is talking about the food and what he's eating, the salad, the drinking, the water. He looks like somebody who will not put anything that's not going to benefit him inside his body.
Talked a lot with Roy Keane about Ronaldo. You weren't always convinced. He played in front of you for a couple of seasons as a teenager. You weren't that convinced to start with.
No, I think there are 3 phases to his career. So the first couple of years at United, where he scored 6 goals in his first year, 9 goals, you were tolerating him in a way, because I'd been used to having a person playing in front as a right back, and David Beckham had a great relationship. I knew where he was going to be. He tucked him when the ball was on the other side. He'd make sure he'd double up. Cristiano Ronaldo did none of those things. He never complied with the defensive structure of the team. So actually you were tolerating him from a defensive point of view, and then in an attacking point of view, he was erratic. And all of a sudden, after a couple of years, the numbers came. So all of a sudden, when he switches over to the left wing or goes to centre forward or doesn't track back, the numbers, 30 goals, 20 assists, 40 goals, 25 assists, and you can tolerate anything. So he went from being somebody who was frustrating to someone who's absolutely exceptional, and then continued. So the type of goals that Mbappe scored today was the middle part of his career. We're now entering into the latter part of his career, which is a different phase, where he's actually now the best centre forward in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. And his box work is absolutely brilliant. And like I say, he's transformed himself from being a player who's young, erratic, to someone who's absolutely brilliant.
We all saw the huge potential that he had, and he came over and his first thought was to entertain. And we wanted to win. And we knew that with him in our team, if he had end product, we had a far better chance of being successful. So, to say a better word, we were kicking it out of him, the entertainment factor, to get the actual end product, the goals and the assists. And
so that was like a deliberate ploy, and you think overall it's probably served him well?
100%. It wasn't something that we would have spoke about. It's just something that natural that we would have thought, listen, this guy's got the talent to take us over the line to the next level.
You must have seen it straight away. The fact that he was so outstanding, you just thought, crikey, what we got here.
We were all in the toilet, remember? We played against Sporting Lisbon.
All in the toilet?
Yeah, we played against Sporting Lisbon.
It's a bit odd.
Half time comes, we played against Sporting Lisbon. Half time comes, we come in, he was like a 17-year-old, no one had heard about him.
Yeah.
Just back off tour, we was all jet lagged, etc. And we're in the toilet going, we've got to sign this guy. And we're looking in the change room and seeing Shazy was marking him. John O'Shea was like this. He couldn't get near him. Sorry, Shazy, but it was that was the moment you say, well, we have to. By the time we got home, he was signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah.
Well-known name, Cristiano Ronaldo. How old was he when you first came across him?
17 he was, and Cristiano's playing outside left against John O'Shea, and the poor souls, he's got tortured blood. Tell me honestly. He's absolutely annihilating. I'm up there, I'm going, John, get him against him. He says, I can't. So I get my kit manager, says, get up there to the director's box and get Peter Kenyon down right away at half time. So Peter Kenyon came down, I says, we're not leaving here.
Peter Kenyon was the then chief executive of United.
Time.
Yeah.
And says, we're not.
I do think that he would be the player in the history of football I've watched that I would bring off the bench if I thought I had to have someone win a football match for me.
So what does that mean?
To me, I think in answering that question that I was asked by a gentleman this morning on the way in, I do think he's the greatest football player that has ever lived.
In the early years, maybe not. In the first couple of years, didn't think he would reach those heights. But then I think after 2005-06, when he started becoming, his body just completely transformed from being quite thin and skinny to being completely different, and his goal scoring, his decision making, maturity at that point. Once you saw him sort of playing at that level, then you thought, wow, that 2006 to 2008 was unbelievable.
That's the most amazing thing, is goal scoring. It's unbelievable to turn into like a winger who used to beat men and more often making goals rather than scoring goals. To have the goal scoring record that he's got is unbelievable.
Coming back from the 2006 World Cup was the one moment I remember him just completely changing. That just for me, when obviously the big incident with Wayne Rooney, coming back as somebody who was hated nationally, bad reputation with the newspapers, etc. But just seemed to mature overnight, and his body completely changed. And in that instance, I felt that's where the sort of big change was for me. It wasn't a particular moment in a football match.
Yeah, mine was a goal he scored against Porto, and it was about 40 yards out. It was unbelievable goal. To go back to Portugal against one of his rivals as he was growing up, to score that goal, I mean, there's 3 or 4 times on a pitch where I've gone wow, and that was one of them.
He had so much confidence. Even Gary said in his first 2 years when he was developing, he knew that where he was going to end, and he was going to end up to be probably one of the best players in the world, because he had that unbelievable confidence, the ability, the vision, and an unbelievable work ethic. He didn't just get there by natural talent, he get there by the amount of hours he used to put in on the training pitch. And when you see him now deliver what he's delivered, and obviously remember the work that he used to put in at Carrington every single day, it's no surprise that he's been such a success.
I think that's why he gets a lot of respect as well, his professionalism. He was professional, one of the most professional players I've ever seen, if not the. And he has to be he plays every game, never injured. So he's got to be professional, even though everything that comes with it, all the haircuts, all the admiration that he gets, he's still an ultimate professional.
And now it's all about Cristiano Ronaldo. Those two just keep pushing each other on, pushing the boundaries of greatness.
Exactly, and would they have been able, that's the question that I always ask myself, would they have been able to do this and keep this up, the relentlessness that they've shown without each other? If they was out on their own, no one else around, would they continue to have done this? That's the question I ask.
They probably do add to the motivation.
Yeah, 100%. I think all the great sportsmen in the world have always had that someone else to feed off. And I think this is another great rivalry in football. They don't talk about it. Seems like there's a bit of a respect between them. They don't ever mention each other really, but they're just phenomenal to watch. And people try and make comparisons of who's better, etc. Just enjoy them, man. We're lucky
They're very
to be in
different
this time.
footballers as well in many ways, and what makes one better than the other.
Yeah, forget the comparisons.
Yeah.
They're setting standards. We're taking them for granted. We're expecting goals in big games to change games. They do it week in, week out. They're out on their own. As you say, completely different, but enjoy them. And even though they give off a different persona from the outside, and we see them differently, that hunger is the same. It just looks differently from the outside.
Yeah.
They're both pushed on. They both want to beat each other, which has created this monster in both of them.
Yeah. They both deliver at the right time. They both deliver in big games. We've seen them score in Champions League finals, in huge matches all over the world. They're different footballers. One's diminutive, one's a kind of Adonis, but they give so much to the game.
Yeah, they do, and they create highlight reel after highlight reel after highlight reel, and it's just phenomenal. That just each game, even at the weekend just gone, Messi comes off the bench, rescues the game for Barcelona. They're doing it week in, week out, and we talk about players that get to the top. There's many players that get there and stay there for a year or two.
Yeah.
These lot have been there for 10, 12 years doing it, and when you look back and you start looking at the stats, like we said before the game, he's almost, I think he's a goal off 650 goals, Ronaldo. That is more than I had appearances. What about you? Similar?
Yeah, similar.
It's like, it's ridiculous. So to see it when you put it down like that, these guys are just breaking rules.
It's difficult for everybody else. You can't live with that.
No.
When individuals that good in a team, it makes it very hard for every other team. That's what stands out. And the game is a lot quicker, I have to say now. So these things probably level themselves out. Great players in different areas will be great players anyway. But as you say, the numbers make a difference. People can overlook stats. You can't. They smack you in the face.
Yeah.
The stats are incredible. To say that he scored more goals than appearances for Real Madrid, 650. I mean, that's abnormal.
I mean, I don't want to butt you up too much, you two guys, but you two world-class players, and you sit there, and we watch players, and you're thinking, you're in awe of them in many ways, and they're at a different level to world-class.
Yeah, you can't look at that.
Yeah.
Like, they're up there somewhere.
Yeah.
And all the other players in the world, don't care what their egos are saying and what they think of themselves, they're looking up there going, I wish. And I can't get to that level. They ain't gonna get to that level. It's just, it's like Frank said, it's abnormal. But what I would say about what it gives a team when you've got a player like that in your team, the confidence that spreads throughout the team, that we do our jobs right, we just get it right ourselves, keep the back door shut, no goals against. He will score us a goal. He'll get us a chance minimum.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ooh, how long have we got? How long have we got, Joseph?
That's, that's easy. Everybody says, and I say the same, he's not 25 anymore, he's 35. Okay. He doesn't score 50 goals, but how many did he score? 35.
Amazing.
So, the record is incredible. The numbers, they speak by itself.
What drives him on? What drives him on? Fitness.
I think records.
Yeah.
He's a legend. He's one of these big names that stays forever in football history. But the guy he motivates himself with numbers, with new things. He wants to win the gold ball X times and the golden boot X times, and he wants to beat Ali Daei record in Iran of 100 and X goals in a national team.
Yeah.
He wants to not just to play these Euros. He's already thinking that he wants to play the next World Cup.
Does he get angry when people say maybe Messi's better? Would that infuriate him?
I don't think so. I just think that critics motivates him. I think he feels if people criticize me, it's because I am who I am.
Jealous.
And I did what I did, and I still try to do, and he gets that as an extra motivation. I think as an opponent, you should be quiet and don't say a wrong word about him, because that would be always a motivation for him. I think he's the player that everybody knows he is, and mentally really very, very strong.
By the way, he scored some goals with his head as well. People don't realise how good in the air.
All round.
Yeah.
Some great goals in the air.
Yeah. He should leave Italy now and leave me in peace.